Hi, Grandma Debbie here. So the other day I decided to make some bread. I got up early, I got all the ingredients out, I grabbed my bread machine, got it out, double checked to make for sure that the mechanisms all worked because I'd been having problems with them, loaded up the bread machine, and it baked away, did all of its stuff. Then I went to go get the bread out after it was done baking and discovered that my machine had died on me and inside was raw. I was so bummed. But because I was bummed because I really wanted some homemade bread. And, I'm trying to stay away from a lot of processed foods. And so I thought, what better way to do it than to start making my own bread again? So, unfortunately, that didn't happen. So now, though, I found one of the recipes I used to make a lot. And so we're going to get started on it. I'm going to bring you along with me. It is it's a time-consuming process. I'm just going to be honest with you. It really is. But it does make really good bread. So it kind of makes it worth it. I did order another bread machine, and it's not supposed to be here for another couple days. So we'll see what happens. But, when I get it, I will definitely try out making a loaf of bread out of that. So, but in the meantime, let's get started on this. It's just plain old white bread. The recipe comes from this cookbook, and I've made it many, many, many times. So we're going to make it one more time. All right, let's get going. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to dissolve 2 packets of yeast in a big bowl. Now, I generally don't use this bowl for making bread, but the bowl I used to use somehow got busted. So I have to switch. Normally, I would make it in a smaller bowl, but this makes 2 loaves of bread, and so you need it in a little bigger. All right, so we're doing 3/4 cup of warm milk. And I'm just going to, so we're just going to dissolve the yeast in the warm water. All right. So while that's doing its thing, we are going to get 2 cups of lukewarm milk. So I got to get that. I'll be right back. Okay, so we're ready to move on to the next phases. So we're going to add in 2 cups of lukewarm milk. We're going to add in 3 tablespoons of sugar. We're going to add in 1 tablespoon of salt. And then we're going to add in 3 tablespoons of shortening. And I'm just using Crisco. Okay, and then we're going to add in 4 cups of flour to start with. Okay, and now we're just going to mix this. We're going to beat it until it is smooth. Okay, and now we're going to mix in enough flour until we're going to stir it in this time until it is, I don't know, until the dough is easy to handle. So you're going to end up putting in about 7 to 8 cups of flour. Okay, take off my ring. All right, so now we're going to put enough flour on work surface. We're going to take this out because it's now I'm able to work with it. And then I'm going to dump flour all over myself. All right, and now we're just going to knead this. We're going to keep adding flour if we need to. We're going to knead it for about 10 minutes until it is nice and smooth. Okay, and let me wash my hands. Okay, so now that we've got this done, I need to clean up my mess just a tad bit. We are going to put it in a greased bowl and let it sit off to the side for a little bit. All right, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of this grease, the shortening. And I'm just going to grease up the bowl really well. Just a tad bit more. Okay, then we're going to put our bread in our bowl and we're going to turn it over to where the grease side is up. We're going to set it off to the side. We're going to cover it, set it off to the side, and let it sit until it doubles in size. And it's going to, for about an hour is what it's going to take. So I'll get this covered, moved over, and I'll bring you back in an hour or so. Okay, so the dough has doubled. So we're just going to kind of punch down. And then we're going to, so you can tell it's ready because the indentation stayed. So we're going to take it out. And we're going to divide the dough in half. Move it off to the side. And then we're going to roll the dough out. We're going to roll it till it is 9 by 18 inches into a rectangle. I'll leave this in the bowl for the moment so I have more room to work. Measure this out. Nope, we're just shy. Okay, then we're going to take the dough and we're going to put it into thirds. And then we're going to kind of roll it up a little bit. Going to spray our bread pan. You're going to place it seam side down in the center. We're going to move it off to the side. I'm going to go ahead and do the other loaf as well. All right, then we're going to grab the other loaf of bread. And we're going to roll it out just like we did the last one. All right, and we're going to do the same thing. Bring it into thirds. Roll it up. Put it in the pan, seam side down. Then we're going to all right, so we're going to brush it lightly with some butter. So let me grab the butter. And we're just going to brush them lightly. All right, now we're going to let these sit here until they double in size. So for another probably hour or so. All right, so I will bring you back in an hour. Okay, so as you can tell, they've risen. Don't they look nice? They look wonderful, both of them. So my oven is being preheated to 325, or I'm sorry, not 425. So they're going to go into the oven at 425, and we're going to cook them for 25 to 30 minutes. And then what I did though is that I lowered the rack to the bottom so that the tops of the bread is going to be in the center of the oven. All right, so I'm going to get these in the oven and I'm going to bring you back when they're done. Okay, so I got these out of the oven. I'm going to get them out of the pan. Ooh, they look good. And to know that they're done, you want to hit the top. Sounds hollow. Sounds hollow. All right, so now these are just going to sit here and cool. And then we'll be able to slice into them for sandwiches. And I think they look good. So I just want to thank you for coming along with me on this journey. I hope that you're having an amazing day and everything's going really well. As I said, this does take a little bit of time to do, a couple hours, you know, for rising and all that other fun stuff. But once you get it in the oven, 25 to 30 minutes, you got bread. So it does take a little bit of time though. So don't think that you can just rush through this, but it's worth it. You know, homemade bread is really good. So like I said, I hope that you're having an amazing day and everything's going great. Hit that like, hit the share, and hit the subscribe button, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.